hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to open the meeting of January 14th. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
Yes, Mayor, quorum is present for the City Council, Successor Agency, Housing Authority, and Joint Powers Authority.
Okay, when we open the meeting, I want to acknowledge the devastation of the wildfires in Los Angeles, Eaton, Altadena area. There have been 24 deaths as a result. 40,588 acres have been charred. 12,000 homes, businesses, and other structures have been destroyed. I want to acknowledge the hard work of Mayor Karen Bass from the city of Los Angeles, Fire Chief Anthony Maroney from the county of Los Angeles, Jim McDonald from the LAPD, and all the firefighters and police officers, 4,700 of them in all, have been involved in fighting these blazes that are only 18% contained at this time. For perspective, every structure that's engulfed requires three engine companies to deal with. With 12,000 homes, businesses, and other structures, that would be 36,000 engine companies. There aren't 36,000 engine companies in the state of California. That's why this is so hard to contain. And there's been a lot of criticism leveled, and it's just ill-informed. And so I want to acknowledge everyone, the 4,700 police officers and firefighters that have been continuously engaged, including a number of Inglewood police officers that have been engaged, and we should all give them our support. On January 18th, 2025, I'm co-hosting a benefit concert with 1500 Sound Academy at 235 West Florence. It's a new replay building. The tickets are $30 a piece, and they can be purchased at 1500day.com. It starts at 2 p.m., and it's first come, first serve. Now, before we have public comment, we have a couple items to be pulled. Let's see. Which item is that, Mr. City Manager?
It's the department report, sir.
Is it DR1?
Yes.
The DR1 is pulled. And with that, we'll have public comment. Any person who wishes to address the City Council, Successor Agency, Housing Authority, Joint Powers Authority on any item on the agenda other than the public hearings may do so at this time.
Good afternoon, Honorable Council Member and Mayor Butts. Since DR1 has been pulled, this is no longer an item. Respectfully request that my office, the law.
Sir, if you don't have an item on here, this is not the time to speak.
Apologies.
Thank you, sir. With that, we'll close public comment. Item 1, CSA 1 and H1.
Warrant register.
Receive and file. Madam Clerk, what's the next scheduled matter?
Mayor, the next scheduled matter is a public hearing to consider an adoption of an ordinance number 25-01, amending Chapter 2, Article 5 of the Inglewood Municipal Code.
And has the notice of the hearings been given in the time, form, and manners required by law? And do you have the affidavit on file?
Yes, Mayor, a notice has been given and an affidavit is on file.
Are there any communications on the matter?
No communications were received, Mayor.
Okay. With that, is there a written staff report?
There is, Mr. Mayor. Sharon Koike will be presenting. She's the finance director.
All right. Welcome, Ms. Quakey.
Thank you, Good afternoon, Mayor, council members, and members of the public. The City of Inglewood is holding a public hearing to consider the adoption of Ordinance 25-01, which proposes amendments to Chapter 2, Article 5 of the Inglewood Municipal Code regarding purchasing procedures. This ordinance governs the city's process for awarding contracts and purchasing goods and services. No substantial changes have been made since 1980. A comprehensive update is necessary given technological advances, rising costs, and evolving purchasing practices. The proposed revisions are informed by practices in neighboring cities and are designed to enhance the city's procurement process, improve efficiency, and align authorization limits with similar municipalities. Some of the key changes include increasing the authorization limits for the city manager, finance director, public works director, and purchasing officer, which can be found on page 3 of your staff report. Granting the finance director the authority to approve goods purchases ranging from $50,000 to $100,000, excluding service contracts. Increasing the public works director emergency purchase authority from $75,000 to $100,000. Raising the city manager's emergency purchase authority from $100,000 to $150,000, and competitive procurement limits from $50,000 to $100,000. Giving the city manager the authority to ratify exceptional purchases up to $15,000, and raising the threshold for city council approval from purchases over $50,000 to those over $100,000. The summary of these proposed authorization limits, I can go over them quickly. The purchasing officer for goods only currently has $50,000. It increases to $100,000. The director of public works for emergencies currently is up to $75,000. It's increased to $100,000. The city manager's emergency authority is up to $100,000. It's being increased to $150,000. City manager competitive bidding is up to $50,000. That's being increased to $100,000. The city manager's unauthorized purchases currently is 0, and we're adding that to be $15,000. And the city council's authority currently is over $50,000, and we're increasing that to $100,000. There is some additional limits for non-competitive and competitive procurement and expanding exceptions for certain services, changes for professional services and proprietary products, which now can be found on page 4 of the staff report, and defining competitive procurement types such as competitive bidding, price-based, and competitive selection, which is value-based. Increasing the non-competitive procurement cap from $10,000 to $25,000, and raising the informal competitive procurement cap from $50,000 to $100,000. Increasing the cap for informal procurement requiring sealed bids and council approval from $75,000 to $125,000. And raising the formal procurement cap from $75,000 to $125,000. The purchasing division collaborated these changes with the ordinance closely with the finance director, the city manager's office, and the city attorney's office to revise and update the purchasing ordinance. These proposed revisions are designed to streamline the city's procurement process, improving efficiency while ensuring responsible use of public funds. A public hearing is scheduled now for residents to share their feedback before the ordinance is finalized. That concludes my presentation.
Okay, now, the public comment will be accepted at this time. Hearing no public comment. Is there a motion to waive further reading and move adoption?
Motion to waive further reading.
Second.
Madam City Clerk?
Yes, Mayor. Council members Gray.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg. Aye. Mayor Buds.
Aye.
I'll
Move to adopt.
adoption.
Second.
Madam City Clerk?
Council members Gray.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. Okay, we're going to now open PH2. Madam City Clerk, what's the next scheduled matter?
Yes, Mayor. The next scheduled matter is a public hearing to consider introduction of an ordinance approving zoning code amendment number 24-00001 to establish objective design standards in Chapter 12 of the Inglewood Municipal Code citywide.
Has the notice of the hearing been given in the time, form, and manners required by law? And do you have the affidavit on file?
Yes, Mayor. Notice has been given and an affidavit is on file.
Have any communications been received on the matter?
No, Mayor. No communications have been received.
Mr. City Manager, is there a staff report?
There is, thank you. It's Bernard McCrumbie. He's the planning manager in the Development Services Department.
Welcome, Mr. McCrumbie.
Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. Excited to be here before you this afternoon. The planning division, in collaboration with our consultants, the Arroyo Group, are pleased to present to you this afternoon for your adoption objective design standards. And before we begin this presentation, I would like to acknowledge the team that helped us get here. First, I would ask our consultant with the Arroyo Group, Mr. Phil Burns, to stand. Would also like to acknowledge our planning staff for the countless hours of work as we work to develop these objective design standards. Our director, Mr. Jackson, for his leadership and guidance. Our beloved Planning Commission. They spent a lot of hours on the dais reading and vetting this ordinance to ensure that it was well thought out and crafted in a manner that best meets the needs of our community. Our stakeholders who were involved in the process of this ordinance as well. And lastly, Mayor and members of the council, we couldn't do this without your leadership and forward thinking, so we want to acknowledge your help in getting us here as well, so thank you.
Way too kind, buddy.
So, without further ado, what are objective design standards? Well, objective design standards are essentially standards that involve no personal or subjective judgment by a public official and are uniformly verifiable by reference of an external and uniform benchmark or criterion available and knowable by both the development applicant and the proponent of the public official prior to submittal. So what does that mean, right? It means that we're developing a criteria or checklist of development standards that both the developer and the city can easily verify and confirm. Upon adoption of these standards, there'll be a checklist that the applicants will be able to follow that will be verified by staff, which will help us to streamline the development of residential housing throughout the city. It's anticipated that with the adoption of these standards, that our review time will be compressed from about 10 weeks to 2 to 3. And so we're excited to bring this forward. The adoption of these standards came as a result of a program from our recently certified, or our certified housing element, which was certified in 2003 by HCD. And this was program one of that, or the first, one of the programs and implementation items of that housing element. So what does this apply to? This applies to new construction, new multifamily construction and mixed-use developments with 2 or more housing units. This also would apply to any development within our TOD plan areas for commercial and residential. As mentioned here, it also applies to remodeled buildings that are increasing floor area. So you might also ask, what happens if a project doesn't comply with these standards? Well, we've built into this amendment, this code amendment, the opportunity for someone to apply for an adjustment, which would be a discretionary action that's administratively reviewed, and findings would need to be made in order for someone to be able to absolve themselves of meeting these objective standards for one reason or another. I mentioned before the definition of the standard, which would, upon adoption, also be included in the IMC for reference. So the goals of these objective design standards are to activate public streets, sidewalks, and plaza areas, reinforce walking as the most basic and primary mode of transportation. We definitely are looking to make downtown especially more walkable, and these standards will help to us achieve that. Avoid unsafe environments such as sidewalks with no eyes to the street, so public safety is extremely important here. Driveway locations which create unsafe vehicular or vehicular pedestrian conflicts. Protect people's privacy within their own homes and their private spaces. We've built in standards that would alleviate line of sights for open space areas for these residential units that are going to be developed to meet these standards. Improve the visual appearance of the city, its reflection of the cultures which inhabit it, and its aspirations for the future. Next level. Achieve the aims listed above in an objective fashion while allowing for creativity. So we didn't want to develop standards that had all of our structures and our new developments within the city look identical, right? We wanted to create some flexibility within the development community and the design community to allow their individuality and creativity to show and still create a diverse development environment and streetscape. So these standards are broken up into 14 sections. I would also like to mention that we've provided as attachments a copy of these standards for your reference, as well as a pretty thorough staff report that went into detail of what each one of these elements would include. But to just run through them really quickly: site planning and access, building modulation and articulation, how the corners of our structures are going to be created that are located on street corners, materials, finishes, and colors. We're focusing on entries, residential privacy, outdoor dining, residential open space, exterior lighting, walls and fences, noise, loading areas, including trash, utilities, so on and so forth, parking structures, and most importantly, frontage standards. I would like to point out before we conclude this presentation that some of the projects that we see currently developed in our downtown, the DeMilo, the Astra, all of which were developed in conjunction with the design, with our planning commission's design review approvals, were developed, and these standards were based on the development of those projects. And so we saw that those were the types of projects that the city was excited about, the type of street frontage and architectural design that we like to see here in Inglewood. And so we look to use those as a baseline to develop these standards. And through this process, our staff used a number of other projects that have been submitted and that have been developed otherwise to vet these standards to make sure that, you know, it would meet the overall needs of our development community and what we're looking to do here in the city. So that concludes our presentation, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
With that, we'll open public comment. Any members of the public that want to add input to this presentation may do so at this time. Wait, not yet. It's public. Wait.
No, he's blessed.
Oh, you were blessed.
Calm down.
I thought you said bless me. Okay, so
You too.
so anyway, with that, we'll close the item.
Thank you.
Is there
Move
There
for
a
1
motion?
and 2.
From number one.
Second.
Do you want, we should do number one first and then go back to
okay?
Thank you.
So item 1 has been first and seconded. Madam City Clerk.
Council members Gray,
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
All right, is there a motion to waive further reading and an introduction?
move items 2 and 3.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Gray,
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg. Aye. Mayor Buds.
Aye. M1.
Mayor, who's going to introduce?
I'll introduce.
It was Morales.
Okay, thank you, Mayor.
M1.
Yes, sir. Approval of the minutes of the meetings held on October 22nd, November 19th, and November 26th, 2024, with a friendly amendment to November 26th for the closed session reflecting Mr. Oliveris as a sitting attorney.
Okay, do you need a motion for that change?
Yes,
Or can we just move along?
Well, we're gonna need a motion to accept her change, and then,
Accurate.
yes.
So moved.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Gray.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg. Aye. Mayor Buds.
Aye. Move approval.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Gray.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg. Aye. Mayor Buds.
Aye. Consent calendar, items 2 through 11.
So moved.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Gray.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg. Aye. Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR1 has been pulled. We'll move on to 01.
Staff report recommending the mayor and council members adopt ordinance number 25-02, amending Article 8, Chapter 2 of the Inglewood Municipal Code to update and clarify regulations regarding the use and rental of city facilities, including police community centers and district community centers.
Motion to waive further reading.
Second.
Madam City
And
Clerk.
adoption. I'm sorry, Mayor, if I can amend my motion to include the adoption as well.
Madam City Clerk.
Okay.
Second.
Okay.
Madam City Clerk.
You don't want to do further motion to
Well,
waive further-
It actually is included in the motion.
See, we always do it, but it is so.
Okay.
So it's allowed to do 1 and 2 at once. It'll save us about 5 seconds.
Yes, sir. Council members Gray.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg. Aye. Mayor Buds.
Aye. 02.
Staff report recommending the mayor and council members adopt ordinance number 25-03, establishing pay range assignments and conditions of employment for fiscal year 2024 through 2025.
Move 1 and 2.
Second.
Madam
Mr.
City
Mayor, I
Clerk.
have a question.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, what is your question?
I have comments, rather. I wanted to make the comment that I do believe that every employee here deserves fair wages, and I have no issue with everyone receiving salary increases, but my vote will reflect my comments from last week. Thank you.
Madam City Clerk.
Yes, Mary. Council members Gray.
Abstention.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg. Aye. Mayor Buds.
Rousing, aye. A1.
Nothing to report, Mayor. Thank you.
CM1.
Nothing to report, sir.
CC1.
Yes, Mayor. Thank you so much. First, I would like to wish.
Happy birthday first.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to wish everyone a happy new year. So good to see everyone back. So a happy new year. Then also, Mayor, and just want to acknowledge all of our frontline people that are out fighting the fires. And, even our chief of police is out there, helping and orchestrating. And so I'm thanking everyone for all of their services. I truly appreciate it. And I'm thankful that we have our first responders out there making sure that we are safe. So thank you again. Then I would like to just make mention of our new city treasurer sitting next to me to the far right. It's so good to see you sitting there, and Madam City Treasurer Angela Allen. So good to see you. You were my deputy. Now she's our treasurer. But now I have a new deputy, and I would like to introduce her to everyone. It's Destiny Picasso. We're going to get it Picasso. We're going to get it together, but she's our new deputy. And if you need anything within the city clerk's office, I'm entrusting that she will do a wonderful job. I'm looking forward to mentoring her and getting her to the level that we need her to be here in the city. So I know we're going to have great work, and she's going to do great for the city. And then lastly, thank you for the acknowledgement of my birthday. Councilwoman Fogg, thank you so much for my beautiful flowers. It's just good to be alive. So thank you so much, Mayor.
Okay, did you say it was Destiny Pistachio?
Yeah, it's wrong on her.
Oh.
Yeah, we have to fix that. I'm
Where-
sorry.
Where did we come up
Where
with
did you get Wesley from?
That's her. She's married, so yeah, we have to
okay,
put
okay.
Picasso. Okay, because guys,
Welcome, Destiny. Yay.
Welcome, Destiny.
we're gonna get it right.
Okay, and now we go on to CSA 2.
Yes, Mayor. Approval of the minutes of the meetings held on October 22nd, November 19th, and November 26th, 2024.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Successor agency members, Gray,
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye. CSA 3.
Staff report recommending that the chairman and successor agency members adopt a resolution approving the July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 recognized obligation payment schedule for the expenditures of redevelopment property tax trust funds for submittal to the Second Supervisory District Consolidated Oversight Board for approval consideration.
Move 1 and 2.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Successor agency members, Gray,
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
I will adjourn the successor agency. The housing authorities in session H2.
Approval of the minutes of the meetings held on October 22nd, November 19th, and November 26th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Housing authority members, Gray,
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
I adjourn the housing authority. The JPA is in session JPA 1.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting held on November 19th, 2024.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Joint Powers Authority members, Gray,
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye. We'll adjourn the JPA. There are no appointments to boards, commissions, and committees. We're at public comment regarding other matters connected with city business not elsewhere considered on the agenda may do so at this time. 1 minute.
Hello, Mayor. Hello. Is this thing on?
Hi, you're doing good.
Okay. I'm a recent homeowner here in Inglewood, and I'm also a father here. I'm curious about what the state of the education system is in Inglewood Unified, considering that they're closing 5 schools. Are there any other plans besides, I don't know, what are the plans?
Sir, are you aware that the school district is a separate branch of government, just like the DMV or the post office? Were you aware of that? We don't run the school district here.
Okay.
Okay, but they do have board meetings scheduled regularly, and you could ask those questions there.
Okay.
All right.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and welcome to Inglewood. All right. Hearing no other public comment, we'll go to the mayor and council remarks. We'll start with District 1 for 3 minutes.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, let me say happy birthday to our city clerk and welcome our new deputy city clerk, Destiny. Welcome. And congratulations again to Ms. Allen, city treasurer. I would like to ask the city council to adjourn in memory of Alicia Smith, who you know was my assistant. Her brother passed away this past December, so I'd like to ask the council to adjourn the meeting in his memory. Also,
What's his name?
oh gosh, let me get his name. I'll have to give it to you. I don't have it written down. I do want to also, one of my constituents, Charlene Price, who is the mother of Curran Price, she just celebrated her 95th birthday, so we want to wish her happy birthday to her. Also, celebration was her daughter-in-law, Dale Richardson, is her daughter-in-law. I do want to, as well as so many, has extended heartfelt thoughts and prayers to those affected by the fire and the devastating fires that have been going on since, I believe, last Tuesday, and you know they're still going on. I watch the briefing every morning at 8:30 from the leadership there, and I'm amazed at the collaboration from all the different leaderships from all the different cities in the county. Our county supervisor president chair is Catherine Barger, and of course our amazing mayor Karen Bass, and the police chief and the sheriff and all the agencies. And first, let me say our first responders and firefighters are heroes. the men and women who are on the front line fighting those fires. It's just amazing when you see that they go back. And I know that there are others that have come from other countries and other cities to support them. And so I mention that because that is so important, that we remember that it's not over. And one of the things that they said, I think a couple of days ago, they have the acronyms RSG, Ready, Set, Go. Anyone that can hear my voice that's in, that's part of that or have relatives there, need to remember that ready, set, go, be ready to do that because the fires are not over. I think there should be some pictures that may be shown because here in the city of Inglewood, District 1, we are responding in a very humane way. The Center of Hope has asked for people to come and donate, contribute. And I went there yesterday to the church, Pastor Dixon, and just to see the amount of clothing and things that have been brought to that church, it is amazing how people have responded from the city of Inglewood. And also from another church, a Greater New Bethel. I went there, Pastor Farrell. And there are others that I received notice where people are just doing the best they can. So I'm proud of Inglewood and District 1 here, everyone who are responding to those because we're all impacted by what has happened. And so I just want to bring that there is humanity in this world. It's, it takes a disaster like this to let people see that people do care. And that's the other organization that's accepting donations and trying to do the best they can to support the Eden Fires and the Pacific Fires, but specifically the Pasadena, Altadena area. So please take note if you would give to those organizations. Thank you.
Councilman Padilla, District 2.
Great, thank you, Mayor. Also, happy birthday to our city clerk. And Destiny, welcome to the team, and congratulations. Come on, Angela. Congratulations. Job well done. Looking forward to continuing to work with each one of you. Our hearts and our prayers go out to everybody impacted in these fires and the disaster. I mean, just so devastating. We all, I know, have family and friends that have been impacted. But I also know that we have a resilient group of neighbors, family and friends that are there to help one another so that we can land on our feet and continue to provide for our family and for each other. And I want to just point out, I know we all have businesses in our district and here in the city of Inglewood that have pulled together and to help provide food and shelter and clothing and funding for those that have been impacted. And I'm sure I'm going to miss some of these, but just, Sunday Gravy right away, they stepped up and they helped out our community. Carnitas El Artista right here on La Brea did the same. La Tapatía Carniceria on Hyde Park and Fiesta Martin Restaurant. And I know there's many others throughout the city, but it just shows how much we care for each other. And here in the city of Inglewood, we've always said we're family. And now we're helping our extended families that have been impacted. And there's still much more to do. I want to thank our first responders, our police and firefighters that are out there in the front lines, and the public that went out there to do what they could to help out, as well as, I happen to be in communication with our chief of police, Mark Franerata, and he had sent several of our officers out to Pasadena and Altadena to assist the best they can. So I want to thank him for that leadership. But I also want to thank our emergency management team, Brian Walker and Crystal McGrover, because every day they gave us updates of what's happening, what's going on here, not only in Inglewood and the surrounding community, but in the fire impacted areas. So for us as a leadership team to receive that timely information was very critical and very important, because then we can address concerns that some of our residents and business owners have. And with that being said, there's information that folks can log into so that you too can get real-time information from our Office of Emergency Management. And one of those is, follow at Ready Inglewood, and that'll give you several OES links and some real-time information that you can access. Also, if you get on www.cityofinglewood.org and go to the Office of Emergency Management, you'll get more information as well. And if you want to get information on your cell phone, right? Hey, everybody has a cell phone. Why not get instant information? You can text to Ingle Alerts, INGLE Alerts, and also go to register for those alerts. You can go to alertssouthbay.com, and you can register your phone to get these alerts. So this is information that we've always shared with the residents, but it's more critical now than ever before, so that you can have that real-time information. And I know the mayor's going to close in the memory of all those that have lost their lives in this disaster and these fires. And, the number, I think you said was
24.
over.
It's 24
Yeah, 24
so far.
so
'Cause
far.
remember, they still have to be salvage and recovery.
Yes, and so I know that we will be closing in the memory of all those that have lost their lives, and continue to keep everyone in your thoughts and in your prayers. Thank you.
Okay, I was going to try and keep us at 3 minutes for the new year, but this is a special day. So, Councilwoman Falk, no, you have at it. Have at it.
Okay.
Don't get carried away.
Yeah, but
Oh, now it's don't get carried away. All right.
Where you gotta go, Eloy? Where you going?
No, I'm just
Okay,
saying,
so
I feel for
I
your
also
listeners.
wanted to just wish our city clerk a happy birthday. You are amazing, and we wish you many blessings and many more wonderful birthdays to come. I want to congratulate Destiny on your new role here. Looking forward to working with you. And again, so many times I've already congratulated you, but congratulations again to our new city treasurer. All right. And I think that everybody has said so many things about what's happening with LA County fires. I don't need to reiterate everything because I think it's all been said. We know we all feel the same way. I just wanted to acknowledge the work that our Inglewood Police Department is doing to help out. I talked to Chief Fronterata, and he was saying that, like the mayor was saying, there's a select group of IPD that's going out to assist in the evening for the most part. And so I'm just so happy that even Inglewood can do their part to help out with the devastation that's happening. I want to lift everybody up in prayer. Every day we're praying for the victims. We're hoping that there is an opportunity for them to rebuild quickly. And some of the neighborhoods that are completely demolished will be rebuilt very quickly so people can get back to normal. But at this time, we just want to keep them lifted up in prayer as much as possible. I think that last thing I do want to say is I know that there has been, I think the mayor mentioned it as well, there's been this effort against Mayor Karen Bass, and I do want to keep her lifted up in prayer as well. She's doing the very best she can. This is an extraordinary natural disaster, like he has pointed out, and she would not have had the resources in any city. So we just have to keep that awareness about us and try to not let these attacks on her set in, because she's doing the very best she can for those victims. So, but I would like to reiterate everything else that was said about the victims and about the fires. And then I do want to let our residents know that because of what's happening, the Los Angeles MLK parade that was supposed to take place this Saturday has been postponed, so it will not be happening. And I know a lot of residents from Inglewood would go to that parade, so I want to make sure that everybody knows that it has been postponed and until further notice, and they'll come up with another date in the future. And then also, we would have an event as well, but that event is been changed to Black History Month. So you'll get more information about our Black History Month event. I believe it's set for Saturday, February 22nd. So we will not be doing anything this weekend as well. And lastly, I do want to acknowledge I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And we are celebrating our Founders Day. We were founded in 1908. Does that ring a bell to my mayor and council members?
It rings a bell.
So just congratulations and happy Founders Day to my sorority sisters of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Thank you, Mayor. That's all I have.
Okay, but the trivia question is, when was Inglewood first named and founded? What year was that? 1888. But anyway.
Oh, okay.
What month?
You don't have to put me on the spot in front of all these people, though, Mayor. Come on now.
It was just trivia. Councilman Ayla Morales, the dean of the council.
By who Ignacio Machado anyway? That was just on the top of my thing. But first responders, you know, so much has been said about the fires, and we all feel it. We all know somebody that was affected in so many ways. And I mean, our hearts go out. I just think about, you know, what they need is a little bit of normal back. And so many are living outside their homes. Their kids still have to go to school. They still have to go to work. And, you know, until they get a little bit of normal back, nothing's going to go back. So they must be feeling a big weight, sadness, you know, and then on top of everything, you know, there's the pressures of hearing everything on the news, how difficult it's going to be to come back. And within that, you know, we see the effect it has on everybody, and the frustration is just, you know, getting pushed off on whoever they can point at. And one of them is Mayor Bass, and whom I'm 100% behind and support all the way. You know, during this time, you know, she pushes as much as she can. She does as much as she can, just like any other leader would. And her efforts should not be outshined by criticism during something that she could not control. So we're all extremely supportive of her now. Our own office here, Brian Walker, our Office of Emergency Service, I have to say, you know, you call him and he has all the information. That's because he makes it a point to be part of what's going on both in LA County and statewide. So we appreciate his efforts constantly. I know this is our first meeting of the year, so I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. Happy birthday, Aisha. I pitched in for those flowers, but Dion didn't mention it.
They're from the whole council.
Okay? So she didn't put my name on the card.
There wasn't a card. There was no card.
I paid for a card. And then, of course, welcome to you too. That's great to see you. And then, of course, a lot was done here. I have to say the design that everything is happening is just a product of where we're going as a city. So that's it. And just to end up on a positive note, I'd like to acknowledge Bernard's award-winning beard. That is just awesome. Everybody else is just JV around here. So with that, Happy New Year.
I want to talk a little bit about the continuity of government. I don't know if they're able to play a video, but I've been interviewed 3 times about Karen Bass. And, you know, it is very tough being the chief executive of a city because when things go bad, everybody wants a simple answer. And so I'm walking in to do an interview with Power 106, and then TMZ gets me on the sidewalk. And if you can play it, Thomas, I'd appreciate it. No sound.
Affected by this.
I did 37 years in law enforcement, went through riots, earthquakes, and fires. Fires are the worst. because they erase civilizations. They erase memories. And I just feel so bad for everybody that's going through this right now.
I know right now a lot of people are kind of a little upset with Karen Bass. I mean, there's like a petition going around about her resignation. I mean, do the people have a right to be upset at her? Or, I mean, being that she didn't know that this fire was going to happen, I mean, I just want to know your thoughts.
First of all, anyone that would be mad at Karen Bass is entirely misguided. She's one of the most conscientious, competent elected officials I've ever met. The last 2 years she's been the mayor, I've been the mayor in Inglewood. And people just don't understand that this situation was far more than the city of Los Angeles. It was the Eaton fire, the Palisades fire. The fire was on Pacific Coast Highway. Did you know there are 4,700 personnel from all over the county and the state fighting these fires right now? There were insufficient resources in the city of Los Angeles to handle this alone. So, no, anybody that's mad at Karen Bass is completely misguided. Excellent administrator. And they should be very proud of Sheriff Luna and Chief Maroney from the County Fire Department. Those three together, along with Jim McDonald, Chief of LAPD, have done an excellent job in an impossible situation.
So you think she's doing a great job?
I think she's doing an outstanding job. It was unfortunate that she didn't get all the information she needed in the beginning because she would never have left. She's a very conscientious person. So with that, what I want to say is that, you know, the bottom line for why cities and structures of government exist, they're to maintain the continuity of life for the jurisdictions that they serve. Now think about this. If there were not the city of Los Angeles, the county of Los Angeles, the individual cities, when we have crises, everything would fall apart. And so that's one of the things I stress to all of our employees, that the reason that this city structure exists is because the people that live here, that pay property taxes, that spend money in the city that results in sales taxes, mission taxes, they do it so that they know that government is going to be here. Not only every day to trim the trees and pave the streets and redo the sidewalks, provide public safety, but to be here to maintain the continuity of government. And that's what's going on right now. Those fires are still going. They're only like 18% contained. That means there's a long ways to go. And we're going to be out there. Our police, our fire. And so I just give my heart out to Mayor Bass, and I want to know that we support her.
All right. Thank you.
And so now we'll close in the memory of the 24 victims so far of the Eaton, Palisades, and Los Angeles fires, and in the name of
Johnson.
And in the name of Raymond Johnson, the brother of Alicia Smith. And with that, we're adjourned.